Today I have the awesome Amanda Giebel with me, and we're going to be sharing with you today around the breadcrumbs to passion. This is very exciting for us both because we've decided to work together on some big things, but at the end of the day, we're starting to share with you that journey. And a part of that is for you maybe able to get some inspiration and motivation yourself out of this particular area, which is to your passion. So, Amanda, tell me more about that for you as far as like your breadcrumbs to passion. What is it that you're really passionate about? And how do you know through those breadcrumbs that you are passionate about it? Because I know you've been a personal trainer.
Yes, and like it's funny how everything aligns, like everyone's world aligns, and we come into contact with people that we need to come in contact with at that perfect time, right? And so for us, we were like, we were seeing each other's stuff, and we were like, hey, are you copying me? And it was like backwards and forth, because we were so in alignment with what we were saying and how we're showing up in the world, and what our mission, what our purpose and passion really is. So that's one thing that's really exciting, is that why we've decided to work together and start this awesome podcast that we're going to call Breadcrumbs to Passion. So for me, personal training was my thing for 10 years, and I just got to the point where I was like, it's actually not giving me that drive anymore. Like I was getting really, I wouldn't say, well, it was boredom in the sense that I knew what I was doing. It was just like on autopilot, and it wasn't challenging me to grow, to make that next step. But then in the back of my mind, I thought, I've got to do something else. There's more to what I want to do, and what is it? I don't know. So anyway, moved into some online coaching, was working with the boss, and just then ended up going out on my own. But basically it comes down to, I get like, it lights up my heart to see where people have started, and then to elevate them and to like have such an impact in their life to grow. And it's like people that are struggling, depressed, unhealthy, and then to see them thriving, happy, like content, and just being positive in general. Like that's amazing. For me, that journey from here to here, breadcrumbs to passion, like it's perfect. It's so aligned with the magic that I bring, and that lights up my heart.
Absolutely. I mean, you're definitely a full of life and love and bubble. Like you're just this big bubble that people can be small. I love. If I'd probably explain it, you probably you're so like, whoa. Yeah. I think we had this conversation recently where I actually said to you around this particular area of making things happen and being really passionate about things in life. And that was the same for me. I was a person that was very much following the next shiny light, or really being pushed out there to do some massive things. But at the same time, my journey started very similar to yours. I was a personal trainer, but before that, I was working in the casino industry, where I went through a 35-kilo weight loss. And so through that, I knew there was going to be a massive mind shift, a mindset shift and change that I had to happen for me to really make a difference for myself. And when you can do that for yourself, you can obviously support others and the breadcrumbs to passion. Like I think it's so exciting that we get to the opportunity to follow those breadcrumbs. And something that we shared just before we got on the call here today was around that particular thing, is how we have been guided and we've followed those breadcrumbs to get to where we are currently. And we continue to follow those breadcrumbs to take us further down the track of where it is we're obviously wanting to go, and the bigger impact we really do want to make out there in the world.
Yeah, definitely. Worldwide movement is, where it's at. Only because intuitively, I think we both know that we're here to just educate and provide as much information as we can from our own personal experiences.
Yeah.
And usually we find the people that actually are, leading or guiding have had a lot of stuff go on in their life because we've had to experience that to be able to pass that knowledge on.
Absolutely. And I think the thing that gets me excited about this first topic, obviously, is around that breadcrumbs passion. Is how do we know that there's something in us that is got that passion? Because I remember when I first started out, there's no way I wasn't even passionate about running to a letterbox, let alone running marathons.
Yeah.
So what is it for you? What really was that thing that you found in you that you went, oh, wow, I think that's my passion?
Yeah. I think, like, honestly, I show up every day full of energy, like, this is me, right? But I guess in work situation, it's something that just comes so naturally that I don't even think about it, and I don't even accept that really, like, I'm showing up to impact a lot of people because I just love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's that pureness, like that cleanliness, pureness of just knowing.
Yeah.
That's
I love that. It's that knowing. That's the one I was after. It's the knowing of what is for you and what is not for you. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges a lot of people face is they buy into what's normally for somebody else as opposed to what's for themselves. And I think that's really exciting when you can just keep following, like you said before, and I thought it was just magic, was around that heart. When you can really feel it in your heart of what's actually really important to you, and following that, having the courage to follow that is really big. And it can start off with just breadcrumbs. Yeah.
And I guess putting yourself out there is huge, like for both of us. We, as much as we are leaders, there's a whole lot of us that is putting ourselves out there as well.
Yeah.
For the purpose of helping other people.
Yeah.
There's no other purpose to it. It's like, we just have to do this. We just know that we have to do this. And so some people are like, well, what happened here? How did you get from here to here? I don't know. It just it happens, right? It happens because of that, we're meeting these different people, we're put in situations, we're following what is here and our gut, And if we can drop into that space where it's heart, where we're following our instincts from our gut, that's passion, that's purpose, that's showing up. And that's where it's authentic.
Absolutely. I always say that too. I think that's so beautifully said as well, because I say when physically and emotionally and spiritually we're connected, we're in that authentic power, and our passion is even greater than what we ever anticipated. Nothing can get in the way of it. We can get distracted, but at the end of the day, there's things that we're so focused. We always come back to that truth, to that calling, to that natural, like a natural state of passion. It's that natural state of who you really are, is where your passion is really found.
Yeah. And I think that's the most exciting bit, is because when we have clients that come to us, we can actually see that for them.
Yeah.
But and that's, that if they're depressed or they're struggling, or it's hard to see that light.
Absolutely.
And that's where we step in, because we can see that light. We know that they can get there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that cheer squad.
The bridge. We're just guiding them as support to get to that, to see the light, to see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And that's right.
You just had me think of something just when you said that. I had to jump in there.
Okay.
I have to jump in. It was a great quote that I heard years ago from a speaker out there in my first day of going through personal development. And I remember her saying it's when it goes from your head to your heart, that's when things completely change and shift. And I could never really understand that concept for ages. And then the reason why is because I was living in... And so when I got into that place of going to the heart space, it made a massive difference. It did release all that unnecessary jargon that we carry because of that living in the head. So coming back to that heart space is really where your passion can really be found.
Yeah. And well, I guess what, for people in today's society, we are trained to be so busy.
Yeah.
We don't really relax. We don't really, it's, coming back to that shiny object.
Yeah.
When all of that stuff, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Because, you ask people that have this, are they actually really happy? Are they authentically showing up for themselves and to others? There's some stuff there that it's not all that.
We both know that and the other thing around that particular area was around contribution for me. I found being passionate about something and contributing back from that passion. I think of someone that was so amazing at that was Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
He was so big on passion. Passion just sells, doesn't it? It doesn't matter what it is. When you're really passionate about something, you'll buy anything. I mean, he had you in love with crocodiles, and he was so passionate. His croc's real.
I was waiting for the chance to say it. Sorry, just had to jump in.
I think this is what it's going to be like with you.
Continue.
This kind of fun stuff. So what else can you see as something that's really important? I think actually something that's just come to me now is in that question is the one that you said to me when we first caught up, and it was around what's your big picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your big picture?
Big picture. Well, look, I like to go big, but it's not that shiny object. No. Yes, if that becomes part of it along the way, I'm accepting of that, but it's not for that reason.
Yeah.
It's literally just that impact, that just elevating people to live their best life and to understand themselves. Because if more people understood themselves, we would have better connections. We would have better connections with our children, better connections with our workmates, our spouse, our partner. All this gets lost because we've lost the connection with ourselves. From the over busyness, from the overworking, from the stress, from the anxiety, from being up here and not in here.
Yeah.
So I think for us, it's like, well, that's where we're bridging that gap and just showing up as ourselves to show people there is a bigger perspective. There is something bigger for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I loved it when you asked me that question, because when you asked me, it was like, yes, I found that right person. Was because, as you know, and I shared with you, but I'm going to share with obviously the audience around, I believe that business owners really have the opportunity to help us in our particular project, because it's something that I'm really passionate about, is removing children from toxic environments. And when we sat down and worked this all out, it was really exciting to be able to see that we can actually do that, especially here in Australia and globally, with helping kids being removed from toxic environments or supporting them to be able to thrive in more nourishing environments. Because what I found is that a lot of people over time have, we've been, I suppose, conditioned to grow up in fear, and then we find love for ourselves. And I'm wondering if we just switch that over and turn that into how can we teach children to love themselves first, and then face their fear with courage, with facing adversity with courage, being brave, and then obviously being supportive of another human being to be able to do the same. And I think that when we can do that, we can support another. But I think a lot of people, what they do is they fall into that place of staying in that fear mentality at the same time trying to love themselves. And it becomes this contradiction all the time that I see out there. So when we sat down and we actually went to what is the big picture, it was really, really important for both of us when we came back to, well, it is to give back to the planet and humanity on a much bigger scale. Yeah. And that really got us excited, didn't it?
Oh, so exciting. So exciting. And our heads since we've caught up until, we're connecting right here now, it's just been this ongoing like whirlwind of thoughts because, and it's guiding us because we know that we're on the right track.
Absolutely.
You know, like all this stuff that keeps coming to us it can only come to us if we're ready.
That's exactly right.
And I think we're both ready to be like, whoa, we can make this big, you know, like we can change the way people think.
Yeah.
And what we've noticed is that just what is missing in life, and it's love, it's fun, and that's what we're here to bring.
Absolutely. So that's just a little introduction onto finding your breadcrumbs to passion. And if you want support with that, please reach out to Amanda or myself, and we would definitely be happy to be able to support you on that journey with us as we continue
our movement.
Yeah, as we create more, follow the breadcrumbs to the greater picture and the passion.
Yeah, the fun, the connection, and I guess it's really important to probably say where we're heading. Yeah. So we've discussed starting Breadcrumbs to Passion podcast, which we'll be catching up weekly, and just having a conversation, just showing people what's possible, where they can get support and help. You know, like we're here. You know, if there's questions, let us know. Because
we love your feedbacks in the comments below. So if you want any questions or anything that you feel, or if this has been something that was really supportive to you today, by all means, put it into the comments below, because we would love to obviously engage with you if you would like to do that as well. Yeah,
awesome. So excited.
All right. From me, it's be brave and be the change. For you, Amanda.
Love and light. Actually, love, passion, and light. There you go. There's a new one.
Awesome. There you go. Love, passion, and light. And we'll see you on the Breadcrumbs
to Passion podcast. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and checking out.
All right. See you soon.
Bye.